Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming, and today we are looking at the new expansion for Marvel Avengers Black Panther, The War for Wakanda. Well, I say that, but we're also going to be touching on the previous two sort of expansions as well. Now, the current one is obviously Black Panther. It's his introduction to the game, so you can be the king. And it also introduces the Kingdom of Wakanda as a place to fight things, a couple new bad guys and a new mission type, and a few enemies. And that's about it. Of course, it does come with like a campaign that you go through. It's a story, and it's pretty well done. It involves a good old Ulysses Claw, looking slightly less Andy Serkis, if I'm honest. Trying to invade Wakanda and corrupting vibranium, and I'm not going to give too much away because it's a story. So that's what you get for no money. So that sounds like quite a good deal. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the way T'Challa plays. He just seems really ineffectual, and a lot of he has this move where he like takes people to the ground. You can swipe at him while you're sort of straddling them, in sort of a good old grounding pounding fashion, but with claws, and that's fine. But his regular combat just seems like quite ineffectual to me. I don't know whether it's because a lot of the bad guys you face in this new expansion have this ability where they overpower and they just take less damage and become sponges that are really annoying to deal with. Or what, but I mean, if we go back to, some of the original cast had that problem as well. Hulk didn't feel particularly Hulk-like, and he's a bit weak, in my opinion. Whereas Cat felt great and really impactful, so weird. Going back to the two previous ones, we had two Hawkeyes back-to-back, which I don't get why they did that. Why would you give us both Hawkeyes back-to-back? That makes no sense, and it's stupid. It's like, you want a bow and arrow character? Here you go. You want a new character? Oh, a bow and arrow character. Why? Just why both back-to-back? That makes no sense. Having said that, I have played both of those prior to coming to War for Wakanda, and I can confirm I enjoyed the Clint Barton one much more than the Kate Bishop one. Because the Kate Bishop one was a bit more just doing everything you did in the vanilla game kind of thing. At least with Clint, you got like Old Man Hawkeye stuff thrown in as well. So you had like the apocalyptic wasteland and long grey-haired Clint, and I just really like the way Clint Barton controls and fights. I really like the sword and the bow work on him, so he's fast becoming one of my favourite characters to play as, which is nice. I hadn't played the second installment before I knew this was coming, which is why I reinstalled everything and started playing it again and blah blah blah. Does the new one, though, sort of live up? It's longer. It's definitely longer. You get a new character. T'Challa does control differently from any other Avenger. So, although I don't like how it feels, it does feel different. And I imagine your mileage may vary. You may enjoy playing him a lot more than I do. But at the end of the day, it's not something that I would say you need to go and pick up a copy of Marvel's Avengers to play this particular part of the game, because I wouldn't. And you can get it, and you can just play that part if you want, because you can pick which campaign you play. You don't have to do them in order, although the storyline does run through them, so I would recommend doing that. Now, I originally reviewed the Avengers, and I gave a relatively positive review. I enjoyed the campaign. I wasn't that interested in the multiplayer, and to be fair, I'm still not interested in the multiplayer, because I don't really want to just do mission type after mission type, or the same boss after the same boss, just trying to power level. It just doesn't hold any appeal to me whatsoever. And although this will bring new stuff in, because you have two new main bad guys, the other one is Crossbones. He's at the very start of the expansion, so I'm not really ruining anything by doing that. So the new guys are Claw and Crossbones, and you get a drilling tank thing, which is so that's your new bad guys. So obviously in the multiplayer, those guys will be incorporated in the new locations, and the new just regular troops will also be in it. So from that standpoint, it does give you more to do, but it's just doing the same stuff over and over. I mean, they cannot get the multiplayer correct, in my opinion. From what I've seen of it, I am the least qualified man to talk about this because I hate multiplayer. Even like MMOs, I will endeavour to play lone wolf. You know, fuck everybody. I'm going to do what I want to do. But yeah, but now we've had like the original game and the Kate Bishop and the Clint Barton and now the T'Challa campaigns. It just makes it, even just from a single player standpoint, a better deal. Because originally I was like, yeah, it's a bit expensive for that in the original campaign. I mean, you do have the option of playing multiplayer, obviously. I did enjoy the campaign. So, you know, that was the main appeal for me, just having an Avengers game. And yes, the Avengers don't look like the MCU Avengers, but considering what Disney's busy doing to that, I'm not too twisted over it. To be fair, I haven't watched a Marvel or Star Wars movie or anything since I cancelled my Disney Plus several months ago, so yeah, they can go do one as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather give... Well, I'd just rather not bother, really, until we see some significant improvement in quality from both franchises. Thank you very much! Bastards. Anyway, I'm drifting. I'm rapidly drifting off a topic there. So, yeah, I mean, now you've got the 3 extra campaigns, and they follow on from one another, so there is a cohesive storyline. Although the Avengers are a little bit shoehorned into the war for Wakanda, it feels like a Black Panther game that they just let you play the Avengers in there as well. But I mean, once you've gotten the original campaign and the 3 expansion campaigns, and they all line up, and you know, there's some good bits in each of them. I mean, the 2 Hawkeye campaigns are relatively short, yeah. They are. If you paid like 20 quid as a DLC, you'd be feeling ripped off. But they were free. So, the story is still horrendous in the fact that it's like, I think they've added like 2 more models to each character and then giving you like 500 palette swaps of it. Trying to irk money out of you. Why? It's just... I never understood with like such characters with such rich history and different costumes and all of that, especially fucking Iron Man, that they didn't just go crazy with that. Instead, they just like, oh, we'll just design it once and then we'll palette swap it 500 times. Greedy fuckers. I don't know. But the good news is, the campaign's fine. Not my favourite. The original campaign is still my favourite, and the Clint Barton Hawkeye is pretty good as well. But I'm a sucker for old man sort of timeline, so it appealed to me as soon as I started playing that. I was like, oh good. And as I say, I really just enjoy the way Hawkeye plays, or Clint Barton plays, I should say. So if you've got Marvel's Avengers, reinstall it, give it a go. You've got a whole bunch of new content. If you haven't played it since, you know, you completed the original campaign, couldn't replay it, which you now can, which is lovely, and got fed up with the multiplayer and put it away, dig it out, give the new ones a go. It's not going to cost you anything, so, you know, there's a bit more content for you. I mean, unless you really, obviously, hate the core mechanics of the game, like the combat, which I was kind of fine with, mostly. You know, otherwise, I would still say the Avengers is a decent purchase for the amount of single-player stuff that's in it now, the story campaigns. Obviously, you can play that with cooperatively as well, I think. I've never tried it, so I would imagine you can, because there's like all these invite things that I just ignore because I have no friends. But that's my choice. Anyway, guys, I would pick it up. It's... I'm a little bit ambivalent about it because, like, 2 of the 4 campaigns ain't so great, in my opinion, including the new one. I mean, it's longer, but it just introduces, like, I mean, the frustration, and I'm not thrilled with the way T'Challa plays. He just feels like he's, like, slapping things, taking like tiny slivers of health off, and if you're used to like nailing things with Captain America, like with his shield going dong, just having T'Challa flap his hands at people is a bit like, ugh. Yeah, that's a bit weak sauce. I know he's clawing them, but still, it just doesn't feel impactful to me. It just looks really ineffectual for a lot of his moves, and a lot of his moves are quite sort of somersaulty, kicky type moves, almost like capoeira. Capoeira. I'm not Brazilian, so I probably can't pronounce that. I'd probably be appropriating it if I actually pronounced it correctly. So there you are. I shall shut up about these things lest I get cancelled again. Anyway, guys, that's my take on the new expansion. If you've got it, get it. Just try it. It's no money. Just go. What are you doing? It's for free. This shit don't matter. Ugh. Anyway, guys, that's all for now. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of any of the expansions, or indeed the original campaign. And if you have been playing multiplayer since its release, which good on you, sir, because I was kind of bored a lot of those core missions before I finished the campaign, let alone playing multiplayer after I finished the campaign. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Catch you next week.